Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to our second episode of In Conversation with the Juvenis Festival. So today I'm here with Kate and Sebastian, and we're going to be talking about costuming and editing, which is perfect because we're just in time for Halloween. So can you guys introduce yourselves?
Absolutely. So my name's Kate, and I'm really interested in costuming. And right now, because of the pandemic, I'm not really able to do too much with that. But I just finished working on Children of Thomas, the spooky radio podcast. So go give that a listen. And yeah, I'm super excited to be here.
Cool. Hi, my name is Sebastian. I currently am kind of working as a video editor, but in a kind of ideal world, kind of post-pandemic world, and I'm involved in a lot of theater tech and specifically lighting and sound. And I've been working a lot with Blue Canoe on a lot of really cool projects, including Children of Thomas as well, which has been a very fun project to edit, and the Zoom musical cabaret things that have been going on.
Awesome, thanks guys. Okay, so my next question is, are you excited for Halloween and why?
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I think this year it's an interesting year for Halloween, but I'm excited to spend it with my kind of closest friends in a very safe way.
Awesome.
Yeah, I agree. Like that's very true. And I think that I'm just excited to see how we innovate to do Halloween this year. I don't know. It'll just be a fun time to see what happens.
Awesome. Thanks for that. So my next question is, what is the first thing you do when you're starting a project?
Geez, I think it's a tough one. I think it depends on the project a lot. When we have opportunities to work in theater spaces, which is something that's starting to happen again now. There's lots of shows that are starting to actually get to go up in venues again, which is really great to see. But I think in the kind of virtual kind of Zoom project world we're living in now, I think the first kind of step is just kind of figuring out what you're doing and how you're going to kind of approach things. There's been a lot of really cool innovation, I think, going on right now in the world of kind of theater and just kind of artistic creation in general. And a lot of that is just trying to find new ways to collaborate. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think that's definitely true for sure. Like normally my first step when I'm costuming would be to do lots of research, but I agree, like now that we're in a pandemic, it's kind of turned everything on its head a bit. Like now, it's not like I can just go and like give people costumes anymore. So it's about collaborating with others, and just having that open line of communication between everyone, figuring out how is the show gonna work. So Zoom and just the pandemic in general has definitely changed things up a lot.
Yeah,
Mhm.
awesome. Thanks, guys. Okay, so my next question is, what is the spookiest show you have ever worked on?
I think for me that's got to be Children of Thomas, which I guess the finale would be airing tomorrow if you're watching this. And yeah, that's because I'm working on sound design and editing on that. It's been a lot of fun to try and create that spooky ambiance for the show.
Man, yeah, I think probably Children of Thomas too. 'Cause I was trying to think of all the shows I've worked on and I haven't actually done a whole lot of spooky ones. I think besides Children of Thomas, the spookiest one I've done would have been like Hamlet, which is like so on the spooky level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's great. Okay, so what do you think makes a really good show?
I think a really good team makes a really good show. You know, it's I think I bring it up a lot, but I think collaboration is just really what makes um, theater work. You can put on one-man shows and stuff, and those definitely have a lot of artistic value, but it's like when you really get a whole team of people together. I mean, in my experience through Queens, we still have production and creative teams getting upwards of 50 people and more. And when you just get that many people into a room and just have those many ideas flowing, I think you can make some really, really special things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that too. And I think just giving everyone the chance and bringing in new ideas, as Sebastian was saying, is super important. Because I think that there's a lot of unique perspectives that people take to theater and how they do things. And so I definitely think that just sort of fusing those ideas all together is what really creates a unique and special project.
Yeah. All right. So, based on kind of your area of expertise here, what is your favorite thing about what you do?
I think for me, my favorite thing about costuming is I really like the hands-on element to it. I'm a very crafty person, and I love being able to just physically like make and create and alter costumes. And I also learned how to sew a few years ago too, which I love to do. So I just have lots of fun getting my craft on, basically.
Nice.
I think with when it comes to tech and with kind of post production, be it editing or sound stuff, I think it's kind of fun being some of the last people to actually get your hands on the project, because you're there right as the last kind of things are coming together. With tech, when you get to again work in venues, it's I think it's always fun to the actors have done a lot of the rehearsal process, a lot of the designs are already done, sets are already kind of being built, and costumes have probably already been made. And then we get to come into the space and just put all the lights up and make everything look pretty, and then everybody comes in, and then it's like all of a sudden that's the show. After one or two more kind of rehearsals. And same with editing. With my experience with the Zoom cabarets and with Children of Thomas, it's everybody's been rehearsing and collaborating, and then you get all these sound and video files, and you just get to stitch it all together and kind of put your little touch on it right at the end.
Oh, that's really cool. Um, so what is your advice for anyone who is interested in tackling what you do?
That's a great question. I think for me, I'd say just get involved. I think for me, like that's how I got started. I just found a local theater company, and I just asked where they have openings and need help, and they said costume. So that's actually how I got into it, and that was a great way to just get introduced by having the head of wardrobe kind of act as a mentor and just teach me all the ropes and how to do it. Um, but also, if it's possible, I think too, taking a sewing class is always helpful. Um, and just, you can even just start teaching yourself how to sketch. That's one thing I've been working on for the pandemic, because doing costume sketches is a big part of costuming. So there's lots of things that you can do at home. And you can also just get involved with a theater company and start out there too.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's similar kind of advice from my perspective too. I mean, I think with tech there is sometimes at least a perceived barrier of entry, um, because you're working with a lot of kind of big, sometimes very expensive equipment, and especially with lights when there's a lot of electricity running through everything. There's definitely you have to be very mindful of safety, and you need to be very kind of respectful of that. But it's still just like I was able to get involved through it through working at an arts camp and just seeing that they needed more help with tech and just really advocating for myself, saying I want to get my hands on some of this stuff. And then 2 years later, I was the head of tech at that camp, and just trying to find those opportunities for yourself, I think, is a big thing. Um, but also just kind of in general, and like you were kind of saying, you just need to get started somewhere. If your interests are video editing or sound editing or anything like that, just make a little project for yourself, invent something, film something around your house, and if you have housemates or roommates or you're at home with your family, just film something and figure it out. Editing is, I think, something that it's really hard to teach, because you can you can learn an editing software, and you need to obviously know what tools do what and what effects do what. But a lot of the editing is knowing when to cut and knowing what effect to use. And I think just the only way to really learn that is to just do it enough times that you've kind of figured it out. So yeah, just get started somewhere, figure it out, get involved.
Great. Well, thank you guys so much for answering my questions. Just one more thing before we go. Can you tell everyone a little bit more about Children of Thomas?
Okay, so basically, Children of Thomas is a spooky radio drama. So it was written by a Queen student, actually, who submitted it to Blue Canoe, and we decided to put it on. And it basically follows the story of a girl named Jane whose mother disappears mysteriously one day. And Jane slowly begins to learn that her mother was actually basically involved in finding aliens and the paranormal and all of that. So Jane goes on this quest and she meets a friend, Zoe, who actually also is a bit of an alien paranormal hunter-ish to an extent. And they both go and try to put the pieces together of the disappearance.
Awesome. Very cool. So where can people find this?
It's available on Spotify. There are 9 episodes out currently, and the 10th episode I believe is supposed to be coming out tomorrow. The 10th episode and the finale. So definitely go and check it out if you can. You can get through it at your own pace. All the episodes are up there, and yeah, it's definitely a fun time.
Amazing. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And have a happy Halloween.
You too.
Yeah. Thanks.